What's up, Buck fans? Welcome back to Real Bucs Talk. Let's go over another film study. Today will be the Bucs vs. Packers NFC Championship preview. Before we jump into the film, let's go take a quick peek at what this Packers defense has to offer. Let's look at defensive categories. Washington, we won, we scored 30. They give up 20 points a game. Second team defense. And went up against New Orleans. Well, fourth team defense. 21 points a game. We scored another 30 points a game. Packers, where are they? They're going to be the lesser of the defense we face. So we should technically be able to score on them. What is their biggest weakness? Rushing yards. So yes, we're top of the list. Everyone knows this. Packers more middle of the pack. So that's what we're going to focus on. Let's look at their rush defense. Plus, I'll let you break into it.
Yeah, looking at the Packers defense here again, they're going to play a lot of bear man fronts. So what a bear man front is usually 5 men at the line of scrimmage, and then they have one linebacker. So again, just a good job here. Getting them pushed out of the way. You can see they can be pushed off the football. Cam Akers does a good job of getting upfield and getting extra yards. So you can definitely see the Bucs do things like this to they do a lot of double and goes, a lot of duo and power game. But we can also, spread them out and run out of shotgun. So it'll be interesting to see if we can do things like this. You just see the alleyways that are created. They don't really have the safeties that come down into the box.
Worried about stopping the pass. But if you look at the way the Rams are running run blocking, very similar to what the Bucs do. They double and go. So this is something where proof is in the pudding. You've seen it works once before. Packers aren't the best at it. Again, here, double, get off, get to the next guy, the next level. Things that the Bucs do over and over. Break it down a little bit more.
Yeah, so I think the Bucs will just be smart, running in a lot of 12 personnel, seeing what kind of defense the Packers line up. If they do line up in like a bear front, or if they have, more dime and nickel coverage out there, then yeah, definitely need to attack it where they have, less than 6 men in the box. That's where we should win up front. We got a big offensive line, and we should be able to attack it that way and use Rojo and Leonard Fournette like we have been doing.
Got to win the trenches. But then once we start passing the ball, where should we attack when we pass the ball?
Yeah, this year I was just wanting to highlight the middle of the field, and that's definitely where an area we need to go after. Definitely against our linebackers who struggle in coverage, or their nickel corners that are maybe not be as good. So that's where I think the offense should look into the passing game, because there's going to be options as you see here. Guys just running, getting into that open hole behind the linebackers. A nice double move here by the slot receiver, and really attack 51 in the passing game. I think that's where you can be successful.
Yeah, and anytime you get a wide receiver versus a linebacker, that's an option you want to take 10 times out of 10. Brady's great, excellent at seeing that, especially when Gronk was covered by lesser individuals in the first game. You hope you rinse and repeat, because that middle of the field will be open, especially when there's a linebacker covering. Again, rinse and repeat. What do you say here?
Yeah, again, just getting the right matchup that you want. They're trying to look like they're going to show some type of blitz here position here. Again, it looks like they're in position, but really they're not. There's open windows. So again, this is a good defense we're going up against, but there's going to be opportunities like you see here, especially attacking the middle of the field.
Yeah, we said it once, said it twice. We'll say it again. Times where you got to attack. Hit the middle of the field, attack 51. This guy's wearing a club. Hopefully he's still wearing that club during this game. But it's just being consistent with where you're attacking. And then stuff we love so much, play action, get them thinking one thing, do another. What do you see here?
Yeah, play action is going to be big, because this is something we did in the first matchup, run a lot of overs and crossing routes. We saw with Gronkowski be successful. So I think you can do similar things this time around. Make sure your protection is good, and make sure you just identify which matchup you want to attack. But you can see how, that middle gap there behind the linebackers is open.
And they're going to play a lot of zone, a lot of zone. It's not like the Saints who do a lot of cover one, or Washington just mans you up. A lot of zone, find the gaps in the zones in between the guys. We send a lot of guys deep, but we also do a lot of out routes with a lot of just go routes. So find those soft zones. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, this is especially going to be open, especially if you hit the middle of the field early. They're going to make adjustments, as you see here. They have more congestion towards the middle and coverage, so your options are going to be open more on the outside, where the Bucs, like to attack, especially with their size and receiver and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So that could be a possibility later in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Could be set up an out and up. Guys love that. I know they hate the out route, but times Well, you got to run it, you got to set it up. But then you got to look at the Packers. This is where they're really good. If we don't want to fall behind because they have great edge rushers, they can get after it, and you don't want Tom getting hit and putting on the ground like this. What do you see?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have Cesaria Smith, Preston Smith. They got a lot of good inside, rushers as well, Kenny Clark. So, yeah, we got to make sure our offensive line is going to be on the same page and make sure they protect Tom. Make sure we have some quick options to throw to. You don't want to hold the ball too long back there because they can get in and do things like this.
Yeah, definitely don't fall behind early. I know we did in the first game 10-0, and then a rash of points, but still, these guys can get after it. Even Rashawn Gary, he good. He's a guy we liked coming out of the draft last year. Physical specimen, just an animal. And he's actually been doing way better in pass rush lately. I think I saw a PFF thing on him where he had more pressures than Aaron Donald did so far in the playoffs. So that's aggressive. Now let's look at the Packers offense. First and foremost, we do it the best, but you got to mention it every time. Stop the run. And they got three huge backs that they can implement all downs, every down. A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, and name that third one.
Jamal Williams.
There you
So,
go.
yeah, definitely got to stop the run. I mean, they're going to do a lot of runs out of shotgun. They're going to mix it up. They'll run under center. So, yeah, Dylan is a force as you see here. He can make some things happen. We got to be sure we're accounting for their run game at all times and take it away.
And one thing I noticed during the tape, every time you see Rodgers sees no middle linebacker in the middle of the field, it's usually a run. Every time there was a middle linebacker in the middle of the field, he would pass. He would pass to the outside. So this is something hopefully the Bucs notice. They'd rather run against a safety coming down in the box late than run against a linebacker like Devin White or Devante David sitting there in the middle. So hopefully the Bucs keyed in on this and plan accordingly. But more, Aaron Jones, disgusting. He's their breakout player that can make it bust for huge. What do you see in him?
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, once he gets a gap like he did there, he can break away. So we have to make sure we're just, gap discipline. Again, they run a lot of motion to get you confused. So you have to just be in your assignment. Don't, fall for the eye candy and just, make sure you wrap up as we're going to see this next play here. They're going to toss it to him and it looks like he's down, and he does a great job of keeping his balance there as you see and gets more yards. So got to make sure you gain tackle and stay on top of him.
Especially with the field conditions, how they're going to be. I mean, this is something we can't control. The elements, the cold weather, the snow, possibly. A lot of people are downplaying this. It's still huge. I mean, in a vacuum, the Bucs technically we should win both lines. We match up better against the Packers, but you can't account for snow, slippery, missed tackles like this. I mean, guys aren't used to the footing. This is huge. This is an area of concern for me. Let's keep going on. Aaron Rodgers, one of the best passers of the ball. I mean, plus you can't leave guys open like this. He's going to read the field if you give him time. What do you see with Aaron Jones in the passing game?
Yeah, it's just a continuation of Aaron Jones. I mean, he can do stuff like this. He'll just slip out. It looks like he's blocking, but yeah, you can't give that kind of time to, a player like that because he'll definitely make you miss. And then now getting into Devante Adams, who is their stud receiver. Again, a lot of motion as you're going to see here. They motion once and then motion back across the field, and then it's just quick fire, and that's hard to stop. So they do a lot of different things of this with Devontae, and they know how to get him open. So it's gonna be a tough matchup for our defense.
This is something we saw earlier in the year, though, with the Saints. They did this against Carlton Davis. Hopefully, if they run something like this similar in the goal line, it's something they can recognize and prevent. Either way, that's a hard matchup. That's a hard thing to stop. More motion, more Devontae Adams. I mean, you almost got to pick your poison. Do you want to give up big chunks or do you want to give up a little underneath? Usually the Bucs usually allow all this underneath, but you can't allow it every damn time. What do you see?
Yeah, Green Bay's really good at just moving the chains, and they're really good at time of possession. I mean, they're one of the top teams at time of possession, and this is how they do it. They move the chains. Usually they have, they isolate Devontae, as you see here. Again, motion to the top of the screen, and it isolates that space. They get the one-on-one matchup that they want, and you see a little space that he's just going to run into again, and then he can make things happen after the catch. So it's going to be very tough. And then here, double move. I mean that. I mean because everyone's thinking the out route's coming. They run the same type of play. They motion them over. They think out route, but no, it's out and up, and that's where you have to be prepared for.
And then with Aaron Rodgers with the pump, I mean, that's hard not to bite on that. And if Aaron Rodgers delivers a little bit better of a ball without the pressure there, that's probably a touchdown.
Hmm.
Either way, Devante Adams, I know a lot of people say, oh, we can guard him one-on-one. The dude's crafty. It's hard to cover him one-on-one. Now, this, to me, Aaron Rodgers, even if you're in his face, look at all the corrosion. I mean, look at this. Look at the impact he has in his face. Little shifty move forward, step up, and then laser this with ease right to, the dude's just really, really good. That's all you can say. It's going to be hard to stop him. You're not going to be able to. You're just going to have to slow him down some ways. Hopefully more of that pass rush that we did, A-gap blitzes. But what do you see here?
Yeah, this was just going now into Lazard, who's another, great weapon for them. He didn't play the first matchup, that time around. So now he's back, and he really adds a different dimension because he's got, 6'5" speed, as you see here, play action. They're just going to throw it up to him, and that's a big play touchdown. I mean, it's just so easy for Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball down the field like he does. I mean, this is flick of the wrist. So that's going to be a matchup that we're definitely going to have to prepare for and watch out for because his size. And then you got to worry about Aaron Rodgers running. So it doesn't make it easier. I mean, he can do things like this. I mean, jukes the defender easily with a nice little pump fake, and then just walks right in.
It's insane. It's almost like Pat Mahomes-esque. I mean, people are saying this is the boat versus the goat. Hey, let's see. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is pretty damn legit. You got to give him that. It's not going to be easy. I mean, this is going to be a hard-fought game. It's in his house. And the dude can make every throw. I mean, even with people in his face, and then things like this. Motion in the pocket, Aaron Donald's right there, and then a dime, especially to the tight end. They like to hit him a lot in the play-action game. And just Aaron Rodgers making plays. The guy doesn't catch it here. But look at the elusiveness in the pocket. He just notices, feels that guy there, steps right out of it. It's nasty. Once you're there, you got to get home, bring him down. Don't let him complete the pass because he can make moves like this. But then it's prone for interceptions. What do you see here?
Yeah, that's, you make great points there. And, if we can't get pressure, especially up the middle, he can do things like this where he gives you opportunities. You got to make sure you come down with him, though, and capitalize because not too many times does he give you gifts like this. So you got to take them when they're there for sure.
Yeah, we saw 2 in our game, 1 for a pick 6. He had 5 on the season. So it's not going to be that many opportunities. I didn't mean to say prone. I just mean he likes to hold it. He likes to throw it. He likes to make moves himself. But again, when you get the pressure, you got to get in there. I believe Shaq and JPP are a little bit more athletic and better overall than the Rams outside rushers. So I think we have the advantage there. Then look at the stunting here. Just running over this guy. This poor guard doesn't know what's coming towards him. But what do you see?
Yeah, you got to definitely do things like this, but you want to make sure you find ways to keep them inside the pocket for sure. And again, it's hard to do because he's so athletic, as you see. But I like how they continue to chase, and that's what we have to do: continue to chase and continue to play your man. That's going to be very important. But as you see, you get pressure on him, you get quick pressure, especially up the middle. Hopefully, we can see Vita Vea do that as he's coming back for this game. So. You can see, he gets a little flustered there and throws it too quick and it ends up incomplete.
Yeah, Vita Vea is going to be huge. How much impact will he have? How many snaps will he play? We don't know. I mean, no one really knows this. But let's give you a couple more stats before we leave you off. The Bucs are 8-0 when they score 25-plus points. You better hope this is a shootout and the Bucs get to 30 because usually we're undefeated there. Green Bay, everyone knows, top 5, everything. Bucs weakness, short passes, quick outside slants. Just stop those, please, guys. We are also 12-0 when we don't turn over the ball. Let's not turn over the ball. Other than that, guys, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe down below, comment your opinions. With that said, until the next one.